damage expensive. I estimate we have to remain here at least 2 days whilst work is repaired on this ship. So here's your orders. Captain Helen, you will ensure the remaining crew are kept busy throughout our stay. Deckhands, you will assist with the repairs to the ship. Nurse Dawn, you will attend to all the casualties' needs, ensure we have adequate medical provisions for the rest of our journey. And cook. Firstly, you will sober up, replenish our food stores, and ensure that everyone has enough food to eat and drink. This is vitally important this weekend.
Listen to us. This is how it's going to be over the next few days here in old Southampton. We're taking over the ship. My name is Pirate Al, and this is
Umpire Dan.
Dan the Man. Dan the Man. We will not allow this ship to sail again until we fill this chest with gold coins. And this is how we're going to do it.
Over the next few days, we're going to be fining anyone and everyone. You deserve a fine, we're going to get one. We're going to be watching all of you, every single one of you. If you're the type of person that may incur a fine, you may be interested to know that you can purchase an immunity card from myself and Pirate Owl at any stage for 5 golden sovereigns, but no less.
Also over the weekend, you may have noticed in your packs that we have the dirt, the grass. Anybody want to set up or know about sleeping in other rooms, shouldn't be in other rooms, sleeping by other people, cheating on their girlfriends, losing the name badges, stick it on that for us, give us the information and we will find them badly. We'll also be collecting money with takeaway at the Ghana Mill tonight.
You know, I hope we've both made ourselves perfectly clear, because we're not nice people.
We're not. We're nasty.
And we'll be back.
Back! Back! Back!
On behalf of conference crew, I'd like to welcome you all to RGBI Conference 2002 into the Novotel Hotel here in Southampton. There's a few things that I've been asked to remind you about or tell you about before we start. Firstly, name badges must be worn at all times.
Duly noted, Helen.
I've already got my get out of jail free card.
And hanging over.
Yay!
Good afternoon. And welcome to conference. That's really what I'm here to do, is to welcome you all to conference. First of all, 2 complaints to the hotel. Yeah. First of all, a person who went in their room last night and couldn't get out because they had the do not disturb sign up. The second person that was unpacking their bag and found a pillow and a duvet in the wardrobe and complained to the hotel as an uncomfortable place to sleep. But the hotel will correct all that. First of all, obviously a big thank you to you all for your support to Rotaract this weekend. I hope you're all ready to have a fabulous weekend and to see some useful, I call them, presentations. But also it's all about friendship, fun, the opportunity to meet new people and to spread of people across GB&I. Firstly, I'd like to welcome our guests to the conference. First of all, the District Chairman of 1090, the organising district, Victoria Allen. Rotary District Governor 1090, Richard Kane, and his wife Julia. Rotary District Governor 1110, Colin Dewsnap, and his wife Lauren. In a wheel, District 9 Chairman Vera Brindley, and her husband, past District Governor Bill. We'd also wish to welcome RGBI Liaison Officer Tony Powell and his wife Pat. Tony has two hats on this weekend. First of all, as the RGBI Rotaract Liaison Officer, which I thank you for that role this year, and also representing the RGBI President David Lydiard, who's given his apologies for this weekend. First of all, I thank my friends in District 1090 for taking over the organisation of this 2002 conference. Those that know that this should have been up in Edinburgh, but the district in Edinburgh folded and therefore there's no one to run the conference. So thank you for those that have taken that on at short notice. It's been some hard work and hopefully you'll enjoy the conference and make it all worthwhile. My aim for this year was to go back to basics and do what we do well. And this conference is all about sort of sharing with you a few successes, a few thoughts and probably a few ideas from across Rotaract and Great Britain and Ireland. What I hope is that you'll be able to take something away from this conference to take back into your district, if you like, or club, to sort of re-infuse Rotaract. At the start of the year, a Rotarian gave me a can with a Rotaract and a Rotary symbol on it. And that basically told me, I can. Very cool, isn't it? But that, believe it or not, that sat on my desk at home for a year now. And it's reminded me that I can in times when Rotaract has, as we all know, gone through some difficult times. But is Rotaract turning the corner? Well, yeah, it is. There are clubs growing, and you'll hear from one of those today. New clubs are forming. I believe there's 6 clubs formed across GB&I this year. Existing clubs are relaunching, and we'll share with you an action plan later. There's a commitment to the commitment from Rotary in Great Britain and Ireland, which is more evident than there ever has been in recent years. And the attendance and the interest in this conference is up on the last 2 years, so thank you. One thing is that I'm convinced is what we've done this year is launched the branding of Rotaract as an opportunity too. And it's evident when we see our programme delivered around GB&I that that is the right thing to work with. And you'll hear more again when I address conference tomorrow. As you all know, I'm a member of District 1090, which I'm pleased to say is the strongest district in GB&I. I'm well represented here. So I had to say that. So to share with you a flavour of the district, can I introduce to you the Chairman of 1090, Victoria Allen.
Well, you'll be pleased to know I've just downed an Alka-Seltzer and sobered up from my performance earlier, so we're on track. As some of you all know, District 1090 actually covers a wide section of the Thames Valley. And out of that wonderful roll call we had earlier, our clubs include, and please don't shout, Bicester, Burnham, Caversham, Henley-on-Thames, High Wycombe, Langley and Ivor, Maidenhead, Marlow, Newbury, Oxford, Wallingford, Windsor and Eton, Wokingham, Woodley and Earley. And that makes up just over 150 members. I would be lying if I said to you that we haven't struggled, because we have, just like many other districts. And unfortunately, several of our clubs have folded. But throughout all that, we're still managing to remain strong and very focused throughout. For several years now in District 1090, the Chairman and their executive committees have worked hard to ensure that individual clubs have been able to feed from the district resources, not just financially, but to share in the enthusiasm and energy of a consolidation of like-minded people. We all know how difficult it is to organise social, community and fundraising events with a club of just a couple of people. Although I have to say in our district I've seen this done. Henley-on-Thames is a wonderful example of how they've managed to pull off a very, very successful spring ball every year, even though their numbers have been very small. So it can be done. In the last couple of years, 1090 as a district have united to organise many events with input from the majority of clubs across the area. There have been district holidays to the Algarve, Ibiza, Euro, Disney. We've held district sports days, and every year we hold a district challenge consisting of various heats with challenges to suit everyone. On the community side, we've planted trees, cleared rubbish, painted children's playgrounds, helped out at fetes, and last year, through the efforts of nearly all the clubs in the Thames Valley, we managed to raise over £10,000 for the children's charity Make-A-Wish. The outcome of which was possibly one of the most rewarding experiences of my life when I heard how several terminally ill children had had their wishes granted thanks to different districts 1090. We nominate a charity every year, and because of an amalgamation of efforts, we really can make a difference. Throughout the Rotaract year, we run a district diary. Each club is encouraged to put on 1 or 2 social events and invite the rest of the district along. Langley and Ivor's Rotavision Song Contest.
Thank you, Mike, wherever you're speaking from. I have to tell you that you've frightened the living daylights out of my wife already, because first of all, we haven't got a name badge because we just rushed in and didn't get time to register. It took us over 3 hours to get from Lewis. And the second thing is to tell us all that everybody's pinching things out of cars where we might have a chance to take the luggage out of the car. God, with friends like you, who needs that? Sadly, our RGBI President David Lydiard cannot be with you today. Unfortunately, he's in Renfrew in Scotland. He's at Rotary Club 50th Charter celebration, and that's followed by a number of commitments to garden parties as part of the Jubilee celebrations. Also, Vice President-elect Brian Stoyle, he's not with us either because he's somewhere between Malawi and Plymouth on his way home from a Rotaract overseas project. And together with Vice President Tony Thasanis, who I understand is also out of the country, perhaps it's something you said, both David and Brian wish you all a very enjoyable and successful conference. Their sadness, of course, is my joy in having this opportunity to address you, and also later this afternoon. And for those who perhaps may not know me, just to repeat, my name's Tony Powell. I'm a past District Governor of District 1250, member of the Rotary Club of Lewis and East Sussex, and at the moment, hopefully it will continue to be so to the end of this weekend, I'm enjoying my role as the Rotaract Liaison Officer of RGBI. And the lady sitting out there with sticks and crutches is my wife Pat, who last September decided to fall down the mountains of Morning Island rather than come down by the walking method. Also attending your conference are 2 further Rotary guests. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you. Firstly, District 1110 Governor Colin Dewsnap, and secondly, District Governor 1090 Richard Kay. District Governor Colin, would you like to say a few words, first of all?
Good afternoon, Rotaractors. Welcome to District 1110. I knew it was difficult getting into Southampton, but I didn't know it was quite this difficult. I thought it was usually the traffic, but may I congratulate you on the opening. Slightly different than what we experienced at Rotary Conference. Now, our district covers Hampshire, or most of it. There's a little town in the north which has been mentioned, Aldershot, but that's wish you were part of those. But, however, most of, well, the rest of Hampshire,
Admiral Mike, Rotaractors, distinguished guests, ladies, gentlemen, fellow Rotarians, it is my great pleasure as the Governor of Rotary District 1090 to attend this, the 2002 RGBI Conference. I was going to tell you quite a lot about our district and the towns where we are represented, but they're all here, so there's no need for me to say anything. Our district has this year the great honour of having one of our district Rotaractors as National Chairman of your marvellous organisation. Mike, I don't know where you are, but you have served... Oh, I can't see you. to see you, have you just come out? You have served Rotaract well at all levels, and I congratulate you on what you have achieved this year. But I assure you that in Rotary District 1090, we are very proud of you. Well done. However, some of you may know that Mike has been under a fair amount of pressure and stress recently. And I have it on very good authority that in the last week or so he has had to resort to help. Indeed, I hear that he went into a chemist shop in Didcot last week and asked about Viagra and whether he could get it over the counter, and was politely told that if he took 3 at the same time, he probably could. Several of the Rotary clubs in our district had agreed to give financial support to this conference. And I was even more pleased
for that Rotary welcome. It's a great opportunity for me to give the sort of first thank yous of the weekend. And I appreciate it's quite early, but it's a good time. We all know that the cost of these conferences are fairly expensive, but need to be controlled as best as possible. And I can assure you, our treasurer and the crew have been working as hard as we can to keep our costs down and donate as much as we can to JST. But we are grateful to the Rotary clubs that have supported us from District 1090, and obviously the district itself, as you've heard of. And we've got various guests here from those representative clubs, but I'd like to sort of recognise those, each individual clubs, as a token of like our appreciation. And those Rotary clubs that contributed to keep your costs down for this weekend, and you are literally just paying for the hotel. Their donations and sponsorship and companies pay for everything else. But they are the Rotary Club of Abingdon, Burnham Beeches, Caversham, Henley-on-Thames, High Wycombe, Marlow, Reading Abbey, Synodon, Slough, Uxbridge, Wallingford and Whitney. Thank each and every one of you. Thank you. Obviously, we can't go amiss. There were some excellent donations for those clubs. We couldn't go amiss without the £2,000 from District 1090, and we thank them as a whole for their significant financial contribution. The district is also very supportive of Rotaract, with an active Rotary committee led by Rotarian Ron Tranter, in the audience here and you'll hear him later. And thank you to Ron and his team for the work that they did. With this in mind, District 1090 have been awarded the RGBI Citation Award. And luckily for me, I wasn't allowed to present that at the Rotary Conference because I can present it now in front of you guys. So, in recognition of their contribution, can I ask District Governor Richard to join me on stage, and also so you can recognise Ron if Ron's around. He can join me on stage to receive the brief certificate. Thank you. That really just touches on the support from 1090, but you'll know the support from your own Rotary clubs, and I appreciate the feedback I've got this year is mixed, but we have to control that, and you'll hear from Tony later this afternoon about the work that RGBI are doing for us on our behalf, and a few Rotaractors there as well. Talking of money, we've got a little bit of spare time for our lunch in a few moments, so I'm going to introduce you back to our Sergeant Arms, who I understand already, and what you guys have been doing, we've got some fines.
What is it on?
Okay, then we might as well start off at the top. Helen Creswell. Where is Helen Creswell? Not wearing her badge, but has an immunity card. Boo, boo, boo. District Chair, Vic Hannon. Hi Vic. Key fobs. Yeah? Key fobs. And doors, yeah? Everybody works out a different shit, it's got rooms, yeah? Swipe in, key fob in the block where the lights. Not the swipe card. And I'll press the lights. Really fine, please. Sarah, Emily, Rachel, District. 1140 Shepperton, I have your badge.
She might lose that.
Miss Shepherd, Dawn Shepherd, I believe you lost the bag and broke a glass. Claire Booth, I believe you also broke a glass as well.
We're trying to keep the cost down.
Dan, good old Dan. Dan the man, my private Dan. Dan, I believe you got your script this weekend. I believe that you've got a very important trophy this weekend. And I also believe you muffed up the cheques for this conference with bookings and deposits. You did. Duly fined. Bit of a dodgy one this, but hey, who cares? Vicky from Glasgow. Vicky from Glasgow?
Please stand.
Please stand. Not here. Oh, well, we'll get that later. Okay, no problem. We'll come back. That's a good Sergeant Arms at the buttons. Thank
you. Can you remain standing if you're at the 2001 conference in Loughborough? Excellent. These are the ones you'll see at the Wide Awake Club, probably. There's some people will be up and down like yo-yos, I'm sure, but let's give this a whirl right back to the start then. So, 2000 Eastbourne. 1999 Egham. 1998 Aberdeen. 1997 Hayling Island. 96 Liverpool. 95 Lowestoft. 94 Blackpool. 93 the Isle of Wight. 92 venue next year's conference Birmingham. 91 Bradford. 90 Dublin. 89 Brighton. Thought I was a Mexican wave train. 88 Glasgow. 87 back to Loughborough. 86 Jersey. And guess which one pointed out I hadn't done this? 85 Cambridge. Yeah, I've done that yo-yo. 84 Pontypridd. 83 Exeter. Is it worth going back anymore? Let me give him 82 Durham, 81 Hatfield, 80 Bristol, 79 Dublin, 78 Nottingham, 77 Southampton, 76 Liverpool, 75 Richmond, 74 Birmingham, all starting in the Isle of Wight 1973. Thank you. Thank you to Keith for lending me his top so I can remember which ones they were. Okay, let's go on with the conference sessions then. Basically, the first part of this afternoon is started with our Rotary partners, if you like, the Rotary family. And first of all, if I can introduce you back again, RGBI Liaison Officer, Tony.
My Rotaract and Rotary friends, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, RGBI Chairman Mike, for inviting me to say a few words. You are still in the room, Mike, are you? Yes. I know President David, RGBI President David, would have liked to have addressed your conference himself, but as I explained to you, because of other commitments, that just wasn't practical. I have, however, spoken to him in Renfrew And you really have to applaud the faith he has in his district governors and in myself as a member of the Membership Services Committee when he states that he is confident Tony, Richard and Colin will make a telling contribution to the conference. Although I have to tell you, he did add, he hoped it would be for all the right reasons. And talking of the right reason, when I was a district vice chairman a long time ago, liaising with Rotaract clubs in my area, I unfortunately had to go into hospital for a very small operation. And just to show you how the Rotaract clubs I was involved in at the time appreciated all the support that I was giving them, I received a number of get well cards. And on one of them, the Rotaract club chairman had written a personal note. And it read, "Dear Tony, I want you to know that my Rotaract club, by a vote of 15-7, hopes you recover." That I can tell.
Mr. President, honoured guests, members of Rotaract, Rotary and In a Wheel. It gives me great pleasure to be here with you this weekend at your annual conference and to represent District 9 In a Wheel. Many thanks for your kind hospitality. This is not my first visit to a Rotaract conference. I attended your conference in Brighton in 1989 with my husband Bill, when he was District Governor of Rotary District 1090. Our son Jonathan, then a member of the Bracknell Rotaract Club, attended this event with us. We had a great time, but I never could see the virtue of this wide awake club. I guess that it's just a matter of the generation gap, and my age is showing. I bring you greetings from the executive and members of In a Wheel in District 9. We wish you all a very successful and happy conference. I am pleased to be representing In a Wheel at the conference of our sister organisation, or brother, if you like, which has objectives so close to our own. It was this thought which led me to the question, why do we belong? When I say that, I mean the royal we. We who are members of Rotaract, we who are members of Rotary, and we who are members of In a Wheel. And of course, if they are represented here, we must include Interact in the royal we. Regardless of which organisation we belong to, the reasons for belonging are very similar. The reasons for belonging have developed over the years, and I guess will continue to do so in the future. To understand how these reasons for belonging developed, we need to go back to the year 1905.
I came back up the stage and I'm doing this at the back, is that we need to work with our Rotary family partners, and you know, there's a lot of support out there, believe me, and a lot of the time they just need to know what they can do for us. It's no good just saying we need Rotary or In a Wheel support. We need to actually go out there and be a little bit more specific of what that support means. And, you know, my favourite saying is keep Rotaract in their faces, and people know that that's my case, if you like. Rotary, we touched on Rotary earlier. I just want to say a quick thing about In a Wheel. In a Wheel is perhaps something that in Rotaract we miss the boat a little bit, in a common phrase, if you like. And it's probably an area that we sort of like don't think about utilising as much as we can, about, you know, not just finding ourselves membership, but to kick their husbands into Rotary into shape, perhaps. So let's not forget In a Wheel, and thank you, Vera, for those words. We also mustn't forget, I forgot to give the apologies earlier, of Anne Fryer, who's the GB&I president, who also gave her apologies for this weekend as well. It's quite apt that the In a Wheel thing is enthusiasm creates action, because the next presentation you have is from a Rotaract club, and it's from the Rotaract Club of Bournemouth, and they will sort of perhaps demonstrate themselves what this means. Bournemouth.
began to build our shelter. We did some investigation and got more people involved, and were finally chartered at the beginning of November. From the beginning, we decided to run the club as a team, more like a family than a group of friends. Running the club with enthusiasm and fun, and of course, lots of hard work. To demonstrate how much enthusiasm Bournemouth Rotaract has, we're going to take you on a whirlwind adventure tour entitled 2 Years in 22 Minutes. So sit back and enjoy the snapshot of what we've been up to.
Now, you may think we've gone mad by setting up a kids' tent as our shelter, but this is a symbol for the Rotary Shelter Box Kit.
In an emergency, both local and international relief agencies react with initial aid and assistance to relieve the immediate suffering and hardships. However, there is often a need after for shelter, sleeping bags, etc. This is where the shelter boxes come in.
Each box will provide shelter and warmth for up to 10 people for a prolonged period. They are of a uniform size, weight and content, and will contain a high-quality 10-person tent plus 10 sleeping bags, a spade, torch, rope, etc. The cost of a complete shelter box is only £460. Assuming 6 months use, this equates to shelter and warmth for about 25 pence per person per day.
To aid with the promotion of the shelter boxes to Rotary, we helped at Rotary National Conference in April 2001 in Bournemouth by babysitting a tent with 2 Rotarians who just happened to be sleeping in it. We are proud to have helped launch a scheme which is having great success.
To set the club off on the right foot, we themed our charter night as James Bond 007. This must seem strange to most, but it was the ideal choice, symbolising fun, adventure and future success. And so the story starts.
We have undertaken many projects over the last 2 years. They range from local to national to an international level. Now I'll hand you over to our roving reporter, Becky.
Hello. Hazel, I hear you're involved in the Aquabox project. What is the Aquabox for?
Well, aquaboxes are there to provide in the wake of both man-made and natural disasters, and they are a rapid response provision of safe drinking water and welfare aid items.
So, what do these aquaboxes supply?
Well, these boxes cost £40, she says, and comprise of a container of 75 litre capacity, provided with 4 survival bags, 1 large box liner to protect goods from water damage, 1 filter tap and pack of 14 water purification tablets, being sufficient to supply 1100 litres of purified water, and for a family of 4, that's 10 cups of water a day for approximately 4 months.
So if these boxes are used for water storage, why are they filled with goodies?
We're also able to fill the box with goodies, various items, to help people affected by the disaster. These items can be items of clothing, terry nappies, very useful, sewing kit, toilet rolls, torches, and any hardware items that can be of use.
So how have Rotaract worked?
Well, to help in this cause, we've actually filled 10 boxes over the last 2 years, providing safe drinking water to those areas that most need it. We have also encouraged other organisations to help, including brownies and play groups, with the added bonus that those groups are now able to trace their boxes that they have sent to the areas. Trace the code on the front.
So, why are you unpacking the box then?
I'm unpacking the box to make sure that everything is included, and also to make sure that the water tap and purification tablets are enclosed.
And so why have we got these shoe boxes here then, covered in newspaper?
This is another project that we're involved in, which is called the Shoebox Appeal. They take place nationally, and the idea is to fill the shoe boxes with various items for different aged children. For example, you can fill a shoe box with items for a 5-year-old girl, like a doll, a cuddly toy, storybook, pencils, pens and hair accessories. These are then sent out to Eastern European countries and are given to orphans who have nothing in the world.
So who fills these boxes?
Well, anyone can take part in filling the boxes, but one Christmas we actually had Rotaract and Interact and Rotary all in the same room filling shoe boxes for these children, showing that all three sections can work together.
Interact, who are these then?
I think Lisa knows more about that one.
Thank you, Hazel. Our sponsoring Rotary Club also sponsors an Interact Club. They're a like-minded organisation for 11 to 18-year-olds.
What can you say? From all my travels around GB&I this year, and I'm grateful for Bournemouth because it's not only one. Oh, where's the microphone? Minor issue. Minor issue. Yeah. Okay. I'm grateful to grateful to Bournemouth because it's not on one occasion they've invited me there. It must be mad they invited me back. So grateful for that. And they're certainly a house party. So if you want a salsa party, apply to Bournemouth for their ball. I can't really say a lot more than what they've added, but you know, a simple way is just to say to ask yourself the question: why have they gone from 5 members to 22 members? Beg the answer that it may be due to activity. And you know, the reason why I've given them so much time to talk this morning or this afternoon or whatever at your conference is that, you know, I believe there's some fantastic examples there for you to take back to your district and to sort of show, you know, a brand new club, two years in, balancing with enthusiasm, some fantastic members in there, and you know, 5 to 22. And does that give you enthusiasm to say we can do it across GB&I? And I hope it does. So thanks again to Bournemouth for your time this morning. I appreciate some of you gave up your work to be here, so thanks for that. Building on from that is, like I said earlier about is Rotaract turning the corner. There's been a few clubs that have been launched this year, a few clubs that have been relaunched, and one of the examples is Grimsby and Cleethorpes Club, one of the only clubs in their district, decided we're trying to sort of build the enthusiasm in our own club by launching a brand new club. So they're actually trying to launch a club in Scunthorpe. They decided to put together an action plan. They've sent me a copy of that, and as I've sort of travelled around, I've sort of like looked at what other people are doing as a club in terms of what they're going to do in terms of setting that up. And we've put together a simple one-page action plan, if you like. And what I want to do is sort of share that with you because it's not that complicated, and I think, you know, those that don't know would agree. But the first point is of the action plan is to schedule some dates to revisit that plan, because it's pointless doing it if you're never going to actually revisit those points. When applicable, you've got to ensure you've got the commitment from all your current members and your interested potential members. I've seen some clubs this year that say, yeah, we're going to go and do a membership drive, and there's probably 1 or 2 people that really want to go and make that happen, and the others just sort of like, of course, sheep, if you like, just want to follow that along for the benefit of themselves. You have to involve your district committee at an early stage. You know, I'm a firm believer, and we've seen it in Steve's district, 11010 this year, whereby that enthusiasm is spread across the district. And there's more of a district picture there this year. There's great activity there. And you need to involve your district teams and your local clubs and your local Rotary clubs as soon as possible. I'd suggest to meet all your Rotary clubs ASAP. We shouldn't get too hung up about a sponsoring Rotary club. Unless
Another 30 seconds.
Give me 5 to press this up. Give me 5 to set this up.
Take this one here.
Why, thank you, sir.
Might be trying to place on the camera.
Go on, Vic. Go.
After 5, 4, 3, 2,
No, no,
Do lively.
recording now.
I mean, they make it sound very good. If you do the presentation on camera, you then go to conference. Hey.
Yo! Hello! 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 Just kiss Poppet. Salute them.
Tonight at the Jubilee Sailing Trust, and I got a lot to tell you about that, and I will do it to a moment. And I thought, what might be wrong?
Supposed to say Louise Davis.
What does it say?
God, I feel like a porn king! Yeah, get on with it, mate! Right place, Roger. Go, Rog, go, Rog. Oh, Rog. Les.
Don't pout.
Oh, you just keep rubbing your hands, girls.
Shit! If you know I'm going to be impressed, why are you going to go? Nick.
I don't know, you got a record? The evil national chairman.
It's 10:30 kick-off.
4 hours.
For us, it's 8 o'clock. I was talking about football.
Is this going to be televised tomorrow or Monday?
Aye.